Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today I'm talking about all of the brands I want to try for the first time in 2023. Now, here's the deal. I'm not just talking about them, I'm doing almost a full face, not quite, but almost a full face of new products because a lot of these brands that I want to try this year, I've already purchased from in 2022 and just never got around to trying the products. So a lot of these are indie brands, but we've also got higher end like Pat McGrath. I don't know, are they still considered an indie brand too? But we've got Bella Beauty Bar, we've got Electrum Cosmetics, we've got Trixie Cosmetics, lots of different stuff to try. And I did this kind of like rosy neutral-ish look with the products. So yeah, come hear about what I want to try this year and see me use some of the stuff that I wanted to try this year in action. Before we get too far into the video, if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button, or if you're already subscribed, give this video a like. It really helps my channel out. And don't forget, I am running a giveaway right now. Yes, you can watch my previous video. I'll link it here about Valentine's Day palettes, and you can enter in my current giveaway going on, so don't forget about that. All right, let's go ahead and get into like putting on some of the makeup brands I've never tried before until today and talking about things I want to try for the first time this year. I have tried this before, so I won't talk about it too much. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Have tried it before, however, still wanted to include it briefly just because these are brands that I'm trying for the first time in 2023. And I tried this on camera for the first time actually this year, so I will leave linked the video where I tried this and tried some other stuff in my collection that I had bought but never tested up until that video. But I think this is the only brand in that video that like I hadn't tried the whole brand Milk makeup in general. So like I said, no first impressions there, but I'll leave that video linked. I don't think I have any like foundation or concealer from brands that I wanted to try this year or haven't tried, so I'm gonna go ahead and do foundation, concealer, and whatnot from, you know, nothing new. I'll leave linked in the description what I'm using. If you're curious, you can find it there. And yeah, I will be back on the next step where it's actually something new from a brand I wanted to try this year. Alright, so some of the brands in today's video, I haven't bought from all of these brands, but I'll use what I have. The next one is from Alamar Cosmetics. I did buy this complexion trio, so we're going to see what that's all about. I think I bought the blush trio as well when I got this, and I know I got the Spanglish eyeshadow palette, so let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing any of those in action. I do already have them. Here is the complexion trio. Now they just say Rise and Grind, Pale Wear, or Cafe con Leche, so they don't really say. Let's see. The back says this is to illuminate under the eyes. The bronzer is supposed to be to add warmth on the perimeter of the face, and the deeper shade to create depth around the cheekbones, forehead, and jawline. So I already set under my eyes, not really planning, so I don't think I'm going to put too much of that. I don't know, maybe we'll put a little. It looks pretty luminous to see if it's brightening. But I'm going to start with Pale Wear, the middle shade, and do like they said. Put a little here. This is definitely a warmer toned, like bronzy shade it's looking like, not any sort of cool tone contour, so just be aware of that depending on what you're looking for. Yeah, that's really light and subtle, so I'm gonna go with the deepest one, Cafe con Leche. Okay, it's definitely giving us bronzing. I don't know if I would say it looks, you know, right off the bat like it's life-changing or anything. It might be a little smoothing, so that's nice. If you're somebody that has texture like I do, that might be a little nice. No scent to it or anything, just for funsies. Let's take a little bit and try to put it under the eye and see what happens with this Rise and Grind. Hopefully this doesn't ruin things for us. Okay, so it's just like a really white, almost, powder. Yeah, I could see how there is a little brightening there. I don't think it adds any coverage necessarily, but that might be nice for like a setting powder. I bought from Amazon some of these little sponge things that I've been seeing popular lately to try. So maybe we'll try that to set concealer one day. I will say I could see this like getting a skinny brush and using it as the powder as like a brightening moment to highlight down the center of the nose, because I don't really like to do that with highlighter anymore, but I do like a little, you know, brightening slash, you know, deepening moment to shape the nose. So maybe this palette could be onto something for that, because I do like having a skinny appearing nose. I know I don't, but it's fun to try, right? Okay, so we'll see what else the brand has to offer this year, but you let me know. Have you tried Alamar Cosmetics? Is there anything like life-changing you feel like from the brand? So far, just this, I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like, it wasn't terribly priced, like super expensive, but I still don't feel like it's life-changing, so I don't know. Next up is Trixie Cosmetics. This is Trixie Mattel's brand, the drag queen. And I got a couple different blush palettes. I got this one and the purple one. I'm actually getting ready for like a Valentine's Day eyeshadow palette video. So I'm going more like pinky tones. This one scares me a little, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna start here in the center with Girl on Girl. This one is called the Summer of Love blush palette. That's not really showing up too much. Okay, let's try the Scary Deep one. Oh, okay, so I was kind of worried because I'm pretty pale, right? But that's not, especially if you just go in with a few taps like that, that's not anything like too scary, crazy pigmented that you can't pull off if you're pale. That's really good to know. I'm sure you could build it up. And then the third shade in here is, I guess you would call this more of a face palette because it's a highlighter, but I'm not going to use that because I have something else to use for that today. But ooh, we're blushy, yeah, for sure. Again, I've not tried anything from Trixie Cosmetics. I think I also got one lip gloss. So again, if you want to see the more purple blush palette, see this in action again, see the lip gloss, anything in this video, let me know in the comments because I'm just trying new brands I've never tried before. That also looked pretty smoothing. I'm gonna say it like I can definitely see more texture here. I didn't use like a pore filling primer today like I do sometimes. I just use that Hydro Grip. And it looks a little more diffused and smooth out here where I did those powders. So that's good to know. So I don't know how this will be on powder. Batty Bean says fine, but we'll see. I'm trying from Freck Beauty for the first time, the Slime Light multi-mineral hologram highlighter. This was on sale at Sephora and mine is in shade, what are you? I don't know, what are you called? Space Face maybe? So this is like a colored highlighter. Kind of scared. I'm just gonna do like a little teensy tiny squirt on the back of my hand, and I think I'm just gonna like tap this on with my fingers. Ooh. It's like pinky, but also a little purpley. That's a fun colored highlighter. Yeah, it's not like sticky feeling either on the face. I can see why this would layer well on top of powder. I have some other liquids like a Laura Mercier liquid blush that I was sent that it's okay barefaced, but layered, it just takes off the stuff that's underneath it. And this is not doing that. It's drying down very quickly. It's pretty. It's kind of subtle. I don't know if you guys can even see it on the camera. It just looks like a little wet there, but it's like a pinky, purpley, like liquid face highlighter. That's really cool. I'm excited to try that more. If you guys tried anything from Freck Beauty, this is my first time. I'm really impressed. I like that a lot. So a lot of these brands, you shouldn't be too surprised, are eyeshadows, right? So the one I'm gonna use on camera today is Pat McGrath. Finally bought my first Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. They were having pretty deeply discounted palettes at the end of the year, which still made this expensive, but to me it made it more on par with like Huda Beauty prices instead of the outrageous prices that Pat McGrath has. And there's more than one palette I was interested in trying, but I just went with one for now till I see how I feel about it. And this is the Mothership 9, the Huetopian Dream, which again, like I said, I'm getting ready for Valentine's Day video, so I thought this had some nice like pinky mauvies that we'll try. And I'll talk about some of the other brands that I either have bought from already or want to buy from as far as eyeshadows are concerned while I'm doing this look. Just so you guys can hear like what I've already bought. Let me know what you might want to see. If there's brands that I want to try but I haven't yet, maybe you guys can tell me whether it's going to be kind of like the Alamar was that I just tried, where it's like, I mean, it's fine, but it's, you know, maybe not worth your time if you've already got a lot of stuff in your collection you like. Or if you can tell me like, no, that one actually is kind of life-changing, like you should get that one, you know? The first brand I really want to try this year that I have purchased from is Sigil. I've heard Nikki Raven talk about this. It's this little chinchilla palette. This is the mini one. I didn't get the full-sized one. It's just a little 6-pan with some really nice kind of dusty grays and lavenders. It's supposed to be duochromes in there as well. I don't really know a lot about Sigil or what else they have to offer. I believe they are out of, I can't remember, I think Russia maybe? I don't know. All I know is I couldn't get it from the place directly because of the conflict that's happening right now, and I had to get it through like a third-party site, which I don't mind. You know, I'm sure they still have some kind of agreement where like the original seller, owner, whatever, still gets a kickback or, you know, their money for their product. I don't think it was a reseller or anything like that. Any more of these Morphe brushes, you guys? I am not into them. I don't think I'm gonna buy Morphe brushes anymore. I really like the Ace Beauté ones a lot better. They just feel so much smoother and less scratchy on my eyes. Maybe the Morphe ones were this soft when I bought them and they're just old. I don't know, but I don't think I'm into them anymore. The other brand I want to try, and we might, I don't know, this Slime Light is subtle, so we might top it, I don't know. But Bella Beauty Bar, I got the Strange and Unusual palette and the Oracle highlighter from that brand. So I've got a couple different things to try from them. They've come out with even more stuff since I bought those that look really good, but I'm really making a rule, especially with these new brands, that I'm not going to place a second order with a brand if I haven't even tried the first thing that I ordered with them. You know, like, you haven't even tried what you ordered already. You need to make sure you're happy with the quality and the formula before you get it again and have 2 orders of stuff just to go meh. You know, like the Alamar right now, based on what I just tried, like I said, I have the eyeshadow and the blush thing to try as well, but just based on the contour palette, I'm like, I could go without another order, which is fine. You know, you try stuff, that's how you learn, but I don't need to be making multiple orders from places without trying stuff. So this video is kind of helping me with that as well, since I am trying to be more selective with my purchases. I'm about halfway through with completing my makeup inventory, which like is going through every piece of makeup I have and just counting the quantity of what I actually have, and it's a lot, guys. It really is. So I truly don't need to be out here placing orders that aren't going to fill any sort of gap in my collection, especially if the quality is just meh. I don't want meh quality. I want stuff that's gonna make me really excited to use. So far these mattes are excellent. Not surprised in the Pat McGrath. I also want to try Demesomyrix for the first time. I have this palette. I don't know if I'm going to dip into it today necessarily, but their new blush things that they came out to look really, really nice. Like the I don't know if it's like a cream blush, if that's what it is, but it looks so nice. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know, usually my weakness when it comes to purchases is eyeshadow, you know, not the other stuff. So the fact that a more of like a cream blush complexion-esque type product is the thing catching my eye, it says something to me, that it's like special, that they can grab my attention for something other than just eyeshadow. This eyeshadow, by the way, is gorgeous. Very reflective. I'm not using any sort of glitter primer either. It's just that good. That makes me happy for the price tag at least. Now there's a couple brands I don't own the stuff from, like brands I'm interested in I haven't already purchased from, right? One of those is Shall We Makeup. They have a little eyeshadow palette that I'm very intrigued by. Would love to try them. Also NBA Cosmetics, they had like a, I think it was a gnome palette that looked really, really nice that I want to try. I also would like to try It's Belle Cosmetics. I'll leave linked if you haven't seen my palettes that are like on my wish list or whatever video. It's called something like that. And there was a palette, I think it was the Dawn of Fall or something like that palette, that I was very interested from them. But I was just worried with the cost that I wouldn't like it, and it was limited edition, so it's already, you know, come and gone. But I am curious to try because I've heard the shimmers are really nice, like private label formula, similar to some of Unearthly and some other indie brands. So I'm curious to try them if it's the right color story for me that maybe fills in some gaps I don't have. And I'd also really like to try Viseart. I hear their mattes are wonderful. They have a violet palette I'd really like. I think that might have been in, oh, I know it was. It was 10 palettes I almost bought but didn't. That's what the video was. I think Viseart might have been in that one, that video too. I, of course, like I said, will leave it linked, but I still pine after that palette for sure. I have been trying to keep my purchases to 1 or 2 things a month, so this was a good way for me to try some new brands without actually making purchases, because like obviously I already purchased last year a lot of these and never tried them. But one of the brands that I will be trying this year is it Ensign Rain? Ensley Rain? I don't know what it is. There's a palette that I purchased. It's the only thing I've purchased this whole month of February. That's on its way. I'll do a video on it. That's going to be a new brand that I'm trying for the first time this year as well, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's a collab, and the shimmers look just outstanding. What do you guys think? Is this a nice little Valentine's Day look? Is it mauve-y, pinky enough to call it Valentine's Day? I think so. Wes and I actually celebrated Valentine's Day yesterday. A little early. We just knew during the work week was not going to be that feasible, especially with how busy it is going out and things. We didn't really do presents or anything this year. We just said we're going to go out and, you know, enjoy a nice meal. It's expensive enough to eat out, and we don't really do it that much, so it's a treat for us. We've been together almost 6 years. I challenged Wes at dinner to tell me, by the way, this McGrath palette, wonderful. I'm sure I will have more of these in my future. Quality's amazing. The shimmers are wonderful. The mattes are good too, but I've seen other mattes that are as good. The shimmers though, they're something special. They really are. But I challenged Wes to tell me one thing about himself that I didn't already know after almost 6 years of being together, and he couldn't come up with anything. When I pushed him, the most he could come up with was that he used to play football in high school, which I knew, but I couldn't tell him what position he played in football in. Maybe it wasn't even high school, middle school, which, you know, we didn't know each other then. And I told him, maybe you have told me your position, but like, that's one of those details I just don't care enough about to remember. That might sound mean, but so yeah, that was the only like detail, just like something obscure that he could tell me, because I'm sure there's other stuff about him I don't know. I truly believe like there's always something you don't know about somebody, even if you know them for years and years and years. There's always some new development, right? We did talk about a lot though, like even if it's something that you don't know about them, it could be something new. Like recently Wes has really been into World War II history. He never cared about that before, but it's like a new hobby or interest to him. So, you know, just keeping up on like what's interesting to you now, what's going on with you, what are you interested in. I think that kind of stuff really helps with just like not getting stale in your relationship, you know what I mean? Like still talking about that kind of stuff, even if it feels like small talk, so that you're not just getting to the same old everyday, like, how was work, blah, how was work for you, blah, what should we eat for dinner, okay, let's go to bed and do it again tomorrow, you know, like, it's just too mundane. You gotta keep it interesting somehow. So yeah, we kind of talked about that a little bit over dinner. And that might sound boring to you, but I guess that's okay because it was interesting to me, and at the end of the day, I guess since it's my relationship, that's all that matters. There is one more brand that I want to try this year, and it is Electrum Cosmetics. So I already have purchased from them. We're gonna try a lip gloss from them to finish off this look. But I was looking at the Sea Witch palette and I ended up not getting it, partially because of the price, partially because it did have a lot of blues. And if you've been around here a while, you know blue's usually not my go-to eyeshadow color. Oh, but the multi-chromes look so nice. So I ended up placing an order just for some single multi-chrome shadows and a lip gloss, just so I could try the formula out. And you know, if they do other palettes in the future, maybe with a different color story, or you know, hey, even if I just stick with singles from the brand, I have nothing against singles. I have tons of singles. I really do like playing around with them when I have the time to be creative and just do special shade looks. But today we are gonna play with the gloss, and this is supposed to be a multi-chrome gloss. I'm sorry, I can't tell you what it's called because there's no label on it that says anything. There's like shells on the cap, and it came in a little baggie, but it's not labeled with any sort of shade name. So yeah, I truly don't know what this is called. I think I do want to do a little bit of a liner, just because I have found, I don't know if it's age or what, but my lips just seem really, I don't know, undefined if I don't have at least a liner with the gloss. And I don't necessarily color in my whole lip with a liner. I just really want to define the edge, the lip line. To me, that's important. You do whatever you want, but that's what I like to do personally. I think part of it too is I like to overline my upper lip, and if I don't do liner, you can't overline with the gloss, you know what I mean? So little bit of lip liner, and here is the multi-chrome gloss. Big doe foot applicator here. Ooh. Okay, I don't know if this is Valentine's Day for this look. I don't even know if you can see it, but it is like a blue-green. Very iridescent. It's not sticky or glooby, thank goodness. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see the green shift to it, like the green blue. What is that scent? It's not like your, it's definitely sweet, but it's not fruity, and it's not like your normal like vanilla cupcake. It almost smells like a coffee cake or something like that, like a cheese coffee cake type thing. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like a baked good of some kind. That's really, really good smelling. Yeah, okay guys, so here is the look. So what do you guys think? We tried out all sorts of brands for the first time today. The Pat McGrath, I think, might be my favorite of today's video, to be honest, of everything we tried. Have you tried any of these brands? There's only a few I listed that I didn't already own something from, so you know, this is me trying a lot of new brands all at once. Are you gonna try any new brands today? Is there anything new on your radar, or are you just sticking to your like tried and true favorites? I would love to hear in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye.